Action.
Hey, we'll crop that.
Action.
Morning minutes with Michael Burgio and Mark Novak. Stitches, Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches. Dibba Dobber, Dibba Dobber. And what we wanted to talk with you this morning about is Tribunal. And it's pretty common for real estate agents. It's pretty common for tenants, but there's other benefits of Tribunal that you may not have clipped into or may not have actually stayed. Clip on that.
Yep. Here as well.
So to give you an idea, and what we were chatting about before is a tenant will use Tribunal, or a landlord will use a Tribunal with the tenant if for rental arrears. They'll use them for bond disputes. They'll use them in the event of an agreement can't be struck between a landlord and a tenant, or just an agreement can't be struck. Now, I believe it's up to, is it 20 G's, 25 grand, and after that it goes to your local courts.
Yep.
Up to that amount, and then over a certain amount again, it goes to the Supreme Courts.
So do you want to just go through who Tribunal is, the access to the public, is it state or national, just for all our thousands of viewers out there who may, especially the international
the
ones,
millions. So
may not know
in
what
Australia,
Tribunal,
a lot of people used to know it as small claims court, but it sort of it got the name Tribunal, being a place where you go to mediate first, and then after, if you can't have an agreement on the mediation, then you will go before a member. A member will decide what the fair outcome is for both parties. So both parties will state their cases, and then so it's a lot like a mini court.
Yeah.
But people freak out when they hear it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people use it as a last resort rather than probably a strategy initially, or more in the middle. I reckon it should be probably you have initial conversations and then use it rather than a last resort. I think it's a very good tactic for an agent or a tenant to use and implement as a strategy. So I think
it's a fair system, eh? Like I know we affectionately use the title Dibba Dobber.
Yeah.
Or people will be really freaked out by it and think that they're a victim, or think that something's gone wrong. But sometimes it's just a really nice way to balance the argument.
Correct.
Without getting heated. So I'll give you an example. I used it with Vodafone.
Yeah, use Vodafone. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vodafone, I went into a Vodafone store, and as you know, I record, we do this recording in the morning.
Yes.
Normally I'm in Westfield's car park. So I'm using 4G and in the car. And it needs to be good 4G because we're going live. And I decided I was going to save some money and use Vodafone.
Yep.
I put the family on Vodafone. And the guy said, look, mate, you got 30 days. If that doesn't work, you can switch back to Telstra. I said, cool, thanks. The short story is it didn't work. I went back to the guy a couple of times, said not working, switching. He said, cool, switch to Telstra. Anyway, I got $1,450 bill.
No wonder. He was like, yeah, no problem, bud. Here's your bill.
So I rang the guy and I'm like, dude, you told me it was 30 days. What's with his bill? And he's like, oh, look, you really have to take that. This is the guy in the store. Yeah. You really have to take that up with Vodafone. I'm like, Anyway, so I could have done, so I've sort of had stuff like that happen before. And I thought, you know what, by the time I cut through all the bullshit, so for $55, whatever it is, I put into Tribunal, I put a case in. I paid the $55. I did it against Vodafone, and Vodafone called me.
So Tribunal is not just for real estate; it's for any sort of business dispute. Open to everyone. Okay, that's great. A lot of people, I think, when they hear Tribunal, they just associate it with real estate. No, so that's handy.
I had a fridge with a hairline crack. It had a 3-year warranty, and it was 3 years and 2 weeks. So when I went into the shop, it was like, I was like, what do you mean?
Yep.
And they're like, well, you know, you're 2 weeks out of warranty. So I went to Tribunal, put in the claim, and goods not fit for purpose was the claim. When you build a fridge, you don't build it for the warranty period. You build it to last. And went there, and I got a call from the the retailer, come pick up your new fridge, come and choose your fridge.
How good's that? So it really expedites things, doesn't it? It's almost like the squeaky wheel gets what's the saying? The squeaky wheel gets oil. So let's relate this. Let's relate this to property. I think one of a way people can implement it to help them straight away is maybe in repairs. You're renting a property, you've something's broken or needs repairing, you've emailed the real estate agent and it just hasn't happened, the communication, which could be for many reasons. The landlord may not be responding, it may not be classified as an emergency, but it just needs to be done, and you're going around in circles. So,
well, what's that saying? Don't get mad.
Yeah, get even.
Get even. And Tribunal is a really good stabilizer. It's a really nice way to even everything out to make sure it's fair.
Yeah. So how would that, let's run that as an example. The tenant, they haven't got anywhere. They can just lodge, they can just lodge to Tribunal, $55, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And I reckon you'll see how quickly something will happen.
Well, you know what? I think that people, particularly people feel like they're being victimized if they get taken to a tribunal.
Yeah.
Like an agent takes them to the tribunal. But it's just the perfect way to just get shit sorted out.
Yep.
And you know that they really are the hammer. They really are the hammer, because if you don't turn up to that tribunal, you may well find it's likely that it'll be ruled against that case, you know. So you want to turn up, you want to state your case. And the tribunal members, these guys are great because they're doing this all day, every day. So
they see everything out. Yeah, everything.
I would love a television reality show on our tribunal. I think it would be hilarious.
Yep.
I shouldn't say that. I think it would be entertaining to see the different stories that people have.
And like we hear it quite, like when our property managers go, then you hear how, I don't know, they're just fair. Like they see the tenant side, they also see the landlord side as well.
Yeah.
So I know one we had recently with the rent not being paid, and then it was, what was it? The one in French's Forest where basically there was a couple of things that weren't truthful what said, and the member brought it up, and they just.
Are you sitting on a pillow?
Yes, I'm trying to get there. So if anyone can see, because I got a little pillow here, because otherwise I'm down here.
So whenever Michael and I do any filming or photographing, he sits on a pillow or stands on a chair.
Yeah, it just helps with the aesthetics of the camera view because I'm a little bit shorter.
You're doing that for the viewers, not for you.
Correct. We don't want your eyes to be going up and down, just making the experience from your end a little bit easier. Yeah. I know I'm good on the eyes anyway, but
very thoughtful.
What else are we on this one? Tribunal.
I got a couple of. I guess because being a real estate agent for a long time,
very long time.
I feel it's native. The tribunal. It's a bit like I won't go there. I was going to use. It's a bit like a Bruce Lee with a nunchucker.
Yeah.
So I that's a nice way. The other one I was going to use a native example, but probably
probably not that way. But just say it's a good third. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a good tool.
So it's just a really good tool. So I've always used it, thinking, you know what, because sometimes that time you invest, and that angst and that conversation that you invest in, by the time you get a resolution, I'd rather even a shit resolution or a half resolution fast
and solved,
and done, than investing my time emailing, calling, and then you whinge to your partner, then you whinge to your mates, and you whinge to your employees, and all that time that's invested, bang, don't worry about it. As soon as something goes wrong, just like I did with Vodafone, as soon as something goes wrong, bang, put the inquiry in. And Vodafone were fantastic when I did that. They came back and said, look, we're very sorry. Well, you're right. You do have a 30-day thing. By the way, there's this amount of blah, 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 which you have to pay. And I said, by the way, I paid $55 for a tribunal, so I'd like not to pay that amount. And they said, completely understand. Deal.
I think it's like everything, as we've said, with service to property inquiries, fast.
Yeah.
Even if the response isn't all pretty, but it's fast and it's got the information, it works on this side as well with the tribunal. As you said, the impact it has on yourself, the family, and your friends around. Because if you're going through a dispute, what do you think you're talking about at the barbecue? What do you think you're talking about at the dinner period? So it's not just taking a toll on yourself; it's taking a toll on the people around you.
Absolutely.
Because we all know, what's that saying? If something goes wrong, you tell 10 people. If someone does something right, you only tell 1 or 2.
Yep.
So it just sort of makes a toxic environment for yourselves. And at the end of the day, if the fast it gets resolved one shape or another, you can move on to doing what you want to do.
And I don't like paperwork, but there's not too much paperwork to apply in a tribunal. It's actually not that bad. So you can do it online. And also there's a bit of magic. I actually did another one recently.
Yeah.
I had a barbecue.
Yep.
So I bought a barbecue from a great retailer.
So you're just a big complainer.
No, I just want to get shit done. I'm a big consumer.
Big consumer.
So I bought a Barbie and it had a 10-year warranty on it. And you know those warranties you go 10 years
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing rusted, and it was expensive Barbie. And I went into the store and I said, guys, it's rusted. And he's like, oh, send me the photo. So I go home. Like between the store and home is 15 minutes. And I work 6 days.
Yep.
And Sunday, I don't want to be like spending half a day sorting this shit out. So I was sorting this shit out. And went in there, and then the guy goes, oh, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to take the whole Barbie. So I put the whole Barbie in the car, and I took it, and I'm like, dude, here's the photos, and
here's the bloody barbecue.
The barbecue's in the car. It is because they call it the box that's under the
where the grease goes into.
Yeah, they call it the black box or something, or the fire box they call it. And I said, mate, it is the fire box, and it is rusted. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'll speak to my boss. Anyway, I speak to the boss. I called, speak to the boss. I called, speak to the boss. Spoke to the boss. Yes, we'll get someone out. And this has been going on for 9 months.
Shit.
Yeah. So I was like, man. Anyway, tribunal. $55 application to tribunal. Here's the photos. Here's the receipt. And no good. Anyway, I get a call from the guys saying, what'd you go to tribunal for? We agreed to fix it. I'm like, I've called you probably 12 times. You've said you're going to have a technician out probably 5 times. And where is the guy that I've been talking to? Oh, he's at another store now. Anyway, I ring him up and they said, come and choose a new Barbie. So I went in there, chose a new Barbie, and they were like, what else do you want? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well,
I need some spatulas and
he goes, how much did that cost to do all of that? And I said, all of what? He goes, that tribunal, all the court stuff, tribunal stuff. I went, oh, it was $55. He goes, well, go around the store and choose $55 worth of stuff as well. Will that make you happy? Mate, they handled it so well, but I was like,
why didn't you do that from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, look, at the end of the day, when I go back to buy a Barbie, I'm going to go back there.
Yep.
I might as well give the guys a plug. It was barbecues galore because, mate, they were absolute gentlemen in the end. You know, like it was, and to get a warranty, like a Barbie sits outside.
Yeah.
And to get a warranty outside, a 10-year warranty on stuff, they did honour it. It wasn't easy.
Just need a little kick up the bum.
Kick up the bum.
So, and I also think a lot of people think that tribunal or court thing is very expensive. It's not, because it's $55. It's not like
your time's expensive though. Like if you are
100%.
If you are going to rock up, it's you're losing a half day, or you're going back again maybe for a half day or a day.
Yeah.
But I reckon that most of my staff over the 10, 15 years, I haven't rocked up at all. I just use it as a hammer. Yeah. It's incredible.
So, the point of this is tribunal is there. It's a great resource. It's not like being a snitch. No. It's a tool to use.
You're not a Dibba, Dobber. You're not a
snitch. It's a great resource. Mark uses it rapidly for everything.
Quick on the trigger.
Quick on the trigger.
Quick on the trigger.
So value your time, guys. Value your time.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. And it gives people a foot up the bum to get stuff done.
And if you're a tenant being taken to tribunal from a real estate agent, like one, there's cause.
Yes.
And two, it's okay because you'll get a fair outcome.
Yep.
Used to be called Department.
And you get heard.
Trading.
You get heard.
People listen to your thing. If you're a landlord or getting taken to tribunal, same thing again. I do think landlords get reamed a little bit more.
Yes.
But to actually get a finite result, that would be the word that I'd use, finite, for tribunal. It is just like bang, it is done, it is organised, it is square. Yeah. I remember getting some advice from a solicitor barrister once, and he said, my job is to make both parties equally unhappy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what the tribunal is doing. Fair. So when you come back from the tribunal, you're not going to blood pouring out of your mouth and screaming with the heart in your hand going, I got him. You're going to, it's going to be like, it's going to hurt both sides. You know what I mean? But they're there for warranty repairs, for properties, for everything, eh?
Yep. So,
service. If you're not getting the service that you paid for, tribunal is excellent.
That's a big one as well.
You know what we'll do? We're going to put the link in here if you want to use tribunal.
Yeah.
But why?
You've got your own. You know, when you're a frequent client, you got your own person, like for yourself.
Label,
yeah. You probably got your own case. Yeah.
I got frequent flyer points at tribunal. But the good thing with that, the reason why they had the tribunal is because the courts were getting cluttered.
Yeah.
And
do you need to have a lawyer for this? Are you going to pay $1,000 for a lawyer?
No, you represent yourself. They won't let you have a lawyer.
Okay, so it's very fair there.
You can't have a lawyer if you're at tribunal. You got to go front up yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, good, very good question. Does anyone have any really good questions about tribunal?
Everyone's just immersed. Everyone's just too focused listening.
Yeah. It was such a great topic.
Such a great topic. But we'll be back. Anything else? Any questions, guys? Feel free to ask us. We'll share it. This will be podcasted. We'll share it. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. It's everywhere. So let us know if you want us to talk about any topics as well. But it's different to have us both here today.
Yeah, it's been good. On camera.
So we're calling it.
Bye, beautiful people.
That's the take.
Yeah. See ya. Bye.